This is the case and southern grind. I believe it's the CG, what is it, the 01, CG01. It's the case southern grind collaboration JT sent to me. It is an S35V in steel. I've got it all taped up to protect the knife because I'm fixing to sharpen it. I asked JT to send this one to me specifically because I wanted to check it out. I'm going to start on my 400 grit Latte from Imanishi, and then we're going to go to my Nubatama stones. I have no idea where this angle is located currently. This knife is all belly. That seems to be right on the money. Let me cut the edge off. It's kind of steep. It's pretty obtuse. I'd say it's probably, oh, I don't know, 25, 30 degrees, maybe. It's pretty steep. It's not exactly thin behind the edge either, so they almost got the sharpening choil correct. If they had extended it out just a hair more, it would have been perfect. Nothing too serious, but it's going to be there. There'll be a, if not a recurve, there'll definitely be some flare back there, or as some people call it, a smile. It is truly all belly. It is just one big long U. As you come on the stone, you just do one big U pattern like this. It's enjoyable. Reminds me of that Ganzo knife that's shaped like the ProTech. I've got a burr in most areas on that side, so I'm going to go ahead and switch. This side looks like it's ground a little differently than the other side. It's not quite the same angle. Up next is my Nubatama Ume 1K extra hard stone. The Nubatama set can be purchased from Ken Schwartz directly. You have to email or call him. He can be found on Facebook if you want to get his information. I will tell you, if you do decide you want to get some Nubatama stones, look them over when they first arrive, because I had some issues with them being cracked upon arrival. Now, Ken was awesome and replaced them, but this stone in particular, we had to go through about 4 before we found one that was crack free, and I had to pay the return shipping each time. So ended up spending about the same amount of money shipping as I did on the actual cost of the stone. So just be aware of that. I've already got a burr developed. I've explained to you guys before how I sharpen the tips, but I keep my finger right on the tip of the knife, and as I run it across the stone, my finger drags across the stone as well. So I actually feel when my finger hits that stone, I'm actually hitting that tip, and I know I'm where I need to be. Like I said, this side is ground a little differently, so it takes me a second to get back on the bevel. Looking at the tip, I can actually see where more material is taken off on this side. I think I may drop this a little bit. Try to match it. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the very tip right here, making sure that that triangle of the tip is even on both sides. I can see this side over here, more material is taken off, so it looks kind of obtuse, you know. So instead of having a perfect triangle, I've got one side that's much wider. It's not really a big deal. I mean, it's not going to hurt cutting performance at all. Most people would never even notice it unless you point it out to them. This is a Nubatama Ume 4K. I am going to generate a slurry on this stone because one, it helps remove that top layer of abrasive, and this stone is having cracking issues just like my Nanowa Pro, but it also helps prevent it from loading up quite as bad. This stone does love to load. I reached 1,500 subscribers recently. It kind of came and went without me even realizing it. A bit of a milestone. Can't believe 1,500 people have subscribed to my channel, but there it is. I also said I was going to give away that Sahara combo stone. Full disclosure, the stone has now cracked right here in the corner. But if you do decide that you want to enter the giveaway, we're going to do it in this video. I'm going to give you guys a little word that I want you to say in the comments. And if your comment does not have that word in it, you're not going to be eligible for the giveaway. So I'm going to give that stone away. I'm going to give that Bark River white compound away, minus a little chunk, which I'm going to send to my buddy Dom. And this is going to be only for the continental USA. And I'm sorry to my overseas viewers, but this is a really cheap stone, and it will cost me more to send the stone overseas than the stone is even worth. So I'm not going to go that far with it. The stone costs $27 US to $23 US on Amazon. It's very inexpensive, so you know, it's not like it's a big woo-ha. When I hit 2,000 subs, I'll do a bigger giveaway, and I'll have that open to everybody. But in the meantime, we'll just do this little quickie. I'm gonna let it run probably for a week, and then we'll do the drawing. I'll do it like I always do. Put names in a hat and pick one. I'm not sure what my little code word's gonna be. I'll let you guys know before I'm finished with this stone. I hate that this one's cracking on me. I absolutely love this 4K Nubatama Ume. It's one of my favorites. It gives a really nice polish while still leaving a nice aggressive edge. Lots of bite still in it. you guys aren't aware, JT has a, that is JT's Knife Life. He has a charity raffle going on. If you donate $5, he'll put you in to win a Benchmade, I forget the name of the knife, but it's a Benchmade knife. But he's going to take all the proceeds and give it to, I think he said the Red Cross. I'll put a link to that actual video down in my description, as well as just a link to JT's channel. If you guys haven't watched JT, you're missing out. That guy releases so many videos. He really tells you up front if he's unknowledgeable about a subject. But even though he doesn't have full knowledge on every single knife that he reviews, he still nails it, you know? He did one recently on the Microtech LUDT. He's not an auto guy. He tells you that up front. But there's nothing in his review that I would dispute, except for, you know, his outlook on using an automatic knife in public. He's afraid that the sheeple will get scared off. I'm the exact opposite. I don't care if they get scared off or not. They're legal in my state. If they got a problem with it, well, they need to check themselves, don't check me. Alright, so what I want you guys to say as our little code word for this giveaway, you have to have Southern Grind mentioned somewhere in your comment. I don't care how you use it, what context you use it in, but you need to have Southern Grind in your comment. Now, that being said, if you just say Southern Grind and nothing else, I'm going to delete your comment, because that's obvious that there's a giveaway going on. I want it to be kind of hidden unless you actually watch my video. So use it in a sentence. I don't care what you say. Say that's a cool Case Southern Grind collaboration. Say you don't like Southern Grind because their pocket clips are too small. You know, whatever you got to do, but don't just put Southern Grind. Use it in a sentence. And that's it. Like I said, I'm going to limit this to the continental US, unfortunately. That stone is just not worth paying the shipping fees to get it overseas. I mean, this already cracked on me. I've used it 2 times. So there you go. Kind of give you an idea of the quality of it. I'm pretty much done with this stone. This is the 8000 grit Nubatama. I believe this is the Ume. Yeah, this is a Ume stone, looking at the kanji. This one isn't magnesia bonded like the 4K, so it doesn't have, or it hasn't yet, experienced any of those silly cracking problems. Hopefully it never will, but I am definitely keeping a close eyeball on it to verify and make sure. I'm going to go ahead and generate a little slurry on this guy too. So on another note, I was contacted by SharpePal, those folks who sent me that diamond plate to test out. They were pretty upset with my video, told me that they proved my findings false, stating that where the plate rub balled, there was actually diamonds still on the plate. And in the video I plainly stated, you know, it's possible there's still some diamonds there, but for the most part most of them are stripped out. I guess they've got selective hearing. Regardless, they asked if I would take the video down, and posted a video disputing what I showed, and then they also claimed using the stone to lap another stone was abuse of the stone. I also stated in that video that that was not the kind of diamond plate you wanted to use to lap a stone. The only reason I was doing it was to knock the aggression off, and I was using the wrong side at first. The second video I did for further testing was at a viewer request. He wanted to see what would happen if you continued to lap it. If you could get all of the stone the same texture and then look at it and see if there were diamonds still on the plate, which is what I think I pretty much showed, that it did indeed go bald. As I said, there were still a few diamonds scattered here and there throughout it, but for the most part, I'd say about 75 to 80% of the diamonds were stripped out in those areas. That's left a really bad taste in my mouth for any kind of company that is going to offer to send me product to review. If I don't buy it on my own, I'm not going to fuck with it. I'm not going to be beholden to anybody. If a product has problems and I find them, I want to be at liberty to express those problems to anybody watching my channel. So if anybody contacts me again saying, hey, you want to check out our product, if it's not somebody I've ever heard of, my automatic response is going to be no thank you. If it's something I look at after they contact me and it looks like something I would be interested in, I may take it upon myself to purchase that product myself and then review it. But I'm not going to just take free product, and when I'm not a yes man for them, get told to remove my video. That's bullshit on so many levels. Before I did my review, checking on YouTube, you couldn't find a single video on Sharp Pal diamonds. You do a search now and there's probably 15 or 20 of them. Everybody but me seems to love them. They think they're great. I wonder why. Well, I'll tell you why, because they're getting free product. But forget that. There's nothing in the knife world or sharpening world I can't purchase for myself. And if I can't purchase it myself, I don't need it. But apparently Sharp Pal, they only want positive reviews of their product. Anything negative, and they're going to dispute it. I rinsed the slurry off, so I'm going to do a few passes on the stone slurry free. And I just slapped this edge right against the stone. Hopefully I didn't flatten it. If you guys keep up with my channel, you know I got a couple of new strops in. This is actually from Strop Brothers, formerly Stropman.com. It is just their normal double-sided strop. I've got some Stropman white compound on it. That's what we're going to use to strop this S35B in. Do a quick little cut test here. It's a really obtuse angle. I'll bring you guys down here and show you. It's a really obtuse angle, but the bevel is actually pretty wide. And that's because of how thick it is behind the edge. Well, I couldn't resist. I went ahead and measured this on my edge protractor. And it's a roughly about 22 degrees per side. So about 44 degrees inclusive. So We'll go ahead and do a quick little cut test here with the edge on up edge tester. It's 84. $112. And 77. So doing the average, it comes out to 91. I did this arithmetic on paper, so if that's incorrect, I'll notate it in the description once I get to my calculator. I can't really add or subtract without having my fingers and toes exposed. Give you guys a peek of this bevel. Now down here, as I was talking about the choil, you have a little bit of a smile, a little bit of a flare. You can see right here on the shoulder I was talking about. I wasn't quite getting right in there because the angle is different on this side. Not a true mirror polish, but it doesn't need to be sharp. There's nothing to scoff at. Not at all. So what do I think about this knife? Well, I asked JT to send it to me because I've considered purchasing it myself. It's got nice flipping action. When you go to close it, the knife goes over that detent with zero problems. If you put pressure on the lock bar, you don't get that lock stick where the knife will not deploy. ZTs are notorious for that. Pocket clip, like most southern grind knives, is extremely tight. It's a two-handed operation to get this in and out of the pocket. Blade centering is dead on the money. You can see where I was talking about that tip. It's not a perfect triangle. That one side has a lot more material removed than the other. I like this insert that they have if you decide you want to flip the pocket clip around. With it being on this side, they've got this insert in so you don't have just open holes, but that actually gives your thumb something to grip as you pull it out of the pocket. My biggest complaint is that lanyard hole. If they got rid of that lanyard hole, look at how much of this knife they could cut off right here in the butt. They could probably take it on that second jump and remove all of that. That would make the knife handle blade to ratio much, much better. That's really my only complaint, is the blade length versus the handle length. The ratio is just kind of distorted. I'm gonna probably pick one of these guys up if I can find it in red. I've seen the black one at a few dealers, but I don't think I've seen any of the red ones, at least not recently. Let me show you this 943 that he sent to me. This is a 943 with a black coated blade. I sharpened this on the Hapstone. I did get into that choil just a little bit, just enough to take the doggone coating off. This side, I just kind of nicked it right there in one little spot. But with these coated blades, you know, that's kind of what you deal with. I took this to 5K on my Sharpening Pro stones for the Hapstone. It's got a nice polish, but again, it's not a mirror polish. But it's got a nice reflectivity. I did not test this on the edge on up edge tester, but it is extremely sharp. Now this knife is wedgy, just like all 940s and all 943s. Measuring behind the edge thickness, which is measuring just behind the bevel, I had 0.200, so it's 200 thousandths behind the edge. That's pretty doggone thick. This is sharpened at 16 degrees. And the bevel's not horrible. It does broaden out just a little bit at the tip, but nothing too bad. So I've got 2 of his blades complete. I think I've got 4 or 5 more. I'm not sure. But I'll have videos for them all coming up. Guys, I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Y'all have a good one.